Yes, indeed. All right, so before it gets too far off the screen, Sockfoot2000 has asked, "Can you show us Chairman in the Final Wasteland that you talk about so much?" And that's a reference to the fact that I talk about how I like to get Final is it the Final Wasteland? Is that the card? The one that
Unforgiving Wasteland.
Unforgiving Wasteland. Thank you.
Did you leave our session?
I did, because I went to the multiverse to show some of the cards from Enclave of the Endlings. So yes, I don't see you in another game. Which one are you?
Well, you started a new game, so that's why.
Here we are. I believe you are the king now. Is that something that you would be interested in, John? Is showing off?
Sure.
Yeah. So what they're referencing is I talk about how some of the most fun games I've had are Chairman at Final Wasteland, because the Unforgiving Wasteland card actually removes targets from the game. So it's a dangerous game that you play, but if you can do it right, it's a really good way to handle the Chairman. I've actually had 2 different games that I really played well against the Chairman in Final Wasteland, where I let the Unforgiving Wasteland take out a lot of his not only underbosses but also are they minions? What are the ones that the underbosses pull out?
Thugs.
Thugs, excuse me. Yes, thugs.
Alright, I'm gonna pick 2 random heroes.
Alright, I will. If I hit randomize.
If you pick 2 heroes and pick randomize, you'll get 2 random heroes.
Alright, boom. Boom. Ugh, I'm not doing Dark Watch Night Mist, sorry. I'll do Bunker and Freedom 6 Wraith. Perfect. Sorry, Rowan the Heralder. We are only showing off 1 new deck this evening, and that was it. Dokthorath Capital.
Yep. Stay tuned for future weeks, as we'll be showing off more things.
Yeah, generally the way that we did it, I think for both Infernal Relics and Shattered Timelines, is for the first couple weeks we would show off 1 new deck per week, and then as we started to realize when we were actually going to release, if we had time to do 2 and still be able to show something new off every week before release, we would do that, and so we could show off more than 1 thing in a week. But for the moment now, it's just going to be 1 new deck per week, mainly because that gives us the opportunity to actually implement everything we need for that deck before we show it off. So,
do we want to play regular or advanced?
I think that the games that I've played it. See, so the tricky thing about Chairman is that his advanced is in some ways easier and in some ways harder. On advanced, he flips after there's only 1 underboss in the trash versus 3. But when he flips, he can actually be more difficult because I believe he's immune to environment damage on advanced, right?
He's always immune to environment damage.
Oh, it's that he does more damage. So yeah, X on this card equals H minus 2 versus X on this card equals H. So he does...
It's not as much about him, it's about the gunman.
Right. Yeah, either one. You pick it.
We can play advanced.
Right on. Yeah, so as was mentioned already, and I'll just reiterate it, the goal in terms of strategy and trying to show off strategy in this game is to let the Unforgiving Wasteland try to take the villain targets out of play for you. And so that's something that I try to do when I play against the Chairman in this particular environment. Well, 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 what have we here? You're out of your league, heroes. Think good and hard, partner. I aim to put you down, and I don't miss. Alright, so chrono-ranger starts with a compounded bow, 2 just doing my jobs, and a ranger's mark. Bunker's got a flat cannon, heavy plating, maintenance unit, and upgrade unit. Tempest has a grievous hailstorm, otherworldly resilience, reclaim from the deep, and shielding winds. And Freedom 6 Wraith has an infrared eyepiece, throwing knives, trust fund, and utility belt. And out comes a Rook City is mine.
There you go.
And there's the Unforgiving Wasteland. All right, so let's see
start.
let's see if we can make this work. And an abominable snowman. Out comes the deputy.
HP.
Yes, that's right. So the environment can also take out the operative. That is correct. And heroes, for that matter. So yeah, Crooked Cop is actually my absolute least favorite thug. which is interesting because he reduces damage to underbosses, but not to himself. So it actually makes it a little bit easier to get rid of him.
Well, the snowman's going to deal damage to the second lowest. So if we can get the deputy down to 2 and the crooked cop to 2 or less, we could have it remove the deputy from the game. Or the crooked cop from the game.
Mm-hmm.
Basically. So we could try... This is what you do when you're trying to do this, right? You're trying to manage
exactly
the hit points of these things.
Yeah, and actually, so there's 2 other cards in the Final Wasteland, or at least one other card that I like to play with, which is like Ancient Library. At the start of the hero's turn, that hero's player may draw 2 cards. If they do, play the top card of the environment deck. I almost always say yes to that, because part of the goal of this strategy, to me, is getting as many environment damage dealers out as possible. And then Khan's Bunker, at the end of the environment turn, each hero target regains 1 HP. At the start of the environment turn, either destroy this card or play the top card of the environment deck. If you get both of those out and say yes to them, you can get every environment card out, and then just let them wail on everything for you. Now, again, I cannot stress enough that this is a dangerous game. Because, you know, obviously the more environment damage dealers out, if you're not managing your HP on the environment or on the villain targets, that can be very tricky, and you might find yourself on the losing end.
Right. Do we have cards to discard for chrono-ranger? Are we okay with that?
Let's see. Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Yes, Arcanus Lupus does point out if you remove too many underbosses, then you won't be able to win, and that is true. Again, on regular, you need to have at least 3 that can go in the trash. On advanced, you only need 1.
Yeah, there's some questions in the chat about who works on what and stuff. Jean-Marc does, in fact, work on the music and is our composer, but he's also a brilliant programmer and does much of the programming of the decks in the game. And that's why we call him our unicorn.
He doesn't like it when we call him our unicorn, but that's what we call him. It's so, I find that it would be, like if you put a want ad out for looking for an amazing musician who is also a full stack developer, I feel like the number of resumes you'd get would probably be pretty low. But that's what we got.
I don't think you know what full stack developer means.
No, I understand. He's not technically a full stack developer. What I meant, I simply was trying to use a shorthand for really talented programmer who knows a lot of things. And that is true. He actually does not do a lot of the Unity UI programming, nor does he do web programming or many other types of programming. So yes, he is not a full stack developer. He's a really good engine programmer, though.
I've drawn lots of great bounties.
And he has a horn on the middle of his forehead.
A single horn.
He has a single horn in the middle of his forehead.
With which he makes all of the music. It's a magical instrument. I'm glad he's not here. Or he'd be mad.
All right. I'm not AFK. Why are you telling me I'm AFK?
Because you're A from the K.
All right, so we're trying to get both the deputy and the crooked cop down below.
No, like you want to look at what the snowman does.
Go to the environment, non-environment target with the second lowest, 2 cold and 2 melee. So the idea is that we want to get.
It's gonna hit one of those 2, unless we kill the crooked cop. Then it's gonna hit one of us. Right.
Right. So if I kill the crooked, what I don't want to do is kill the crooked cop.
That's right.
I want to hit the deputy. Don't want to kill the crooked cop.
But I do want to
hit the deputy. I was trying to figure out how to make it work with the rhythm, but I just couldn't quite do it.
It's kind of awkward.
It is a little awkward, yes. Who killed the crooked cop?
We're not going to have him remove something from the game, but there's a pretty good chance that something will come out and kill the crooked cop for us. So I'm going to get it down to 1 hit point.
I can get behind that.
And ping other things.
Actually, we didn't spend any time talking about the operative's advanced rules. We talked a bit about the chairman, so let me pull her up real quick. On advanced, she reduces damage dealt to the chairman and the operative by 1 on this side, and then when she gets incapacitated, she does, at the end of the villain turn, the chairman deals the hero with the highest HP 2 melee damage. So that, coupled with the fact that the chairman, when he flips, is dealing even more damage, can be really tricky. Yeah, I don't see any other better options right now.
I don't think dealing damage is actually not useful at this point.
Yeah, I concur. All right, so let's take a look at what the chairman has in store for us. A prison break.
Prison break would be perfect.
And an underboss. Bella Sorcery. Sorcery?
Bella Sorciere.
Bella Sorciere says, if you fight the chairman in Silver Gulch and you play chrono-ranger and or expatriate, you can shoot both the sheriff and the deputy.
Oh, so we're going to have 2 crooked cops now.
That's not great.
Well, we can make sure the snowman takes one of them away. Potentially. But now we also have an informant, so... kind of like herding cats sometimes, trying to do this Final Wasteland thing.
Yeah, totally. Wow, we have quite a few more viewers than usual this week. I wonder if it's because we're showing off the new Wrath of the Cosmos stuff. I bet it is. All right.
Okay.
What are you thinking, chrono-ranger?
I think I want to get rid of the informant. As usual.
Yeah, I really dislike the informant. Although, again, if you have lots and lots of environment damage dealers out, sometimes I'll actually leave the informant out because it'll get more and more villain targets out that can be wiped clean and sent to the Nether Realm.
That seems dangerous.
It is super dangerous, and that I have a much lower success rate on that plan than... then I have a much higher failure rate than success rate. Let's put it that way. Perfect human specimens, not too bad when they're already both at full HP.
Sent a green arrow. Alright, a villain card was destroyed.
Oh, right, yes, thank you for Pro Farmitage. That's right. Christopher's update to the Kickstarter today also did mention the stream, so that could be part of the reason why we've got some extra people. Well, and the other thing is that I know a lot of people love to see the stuff up front as soon as we stream it, but we also do post these all to YouTube. I know that Greater Than Games usually doesn't do that with their artwork streams. At least I don't think they do. So you can always get caught up, mainly because, as I said up front, part of the goal of these streams is to, help with strategy. So, if we only show them live and then they disappear into the ether, that kind of becomes less useful. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they do, the export to YouTube thing that we do, which is really easy. I think they, record it separately and then it takes a while to post it because they do it separately. But someone should tell them about that button. It's handy.
Indeed.
All right, so what's our plan? Tempest can do a Grievous Hailstorm, probably. Which is going to knock down...
Yeah, I was thinking about getting the one Crooked Cop down to 1.
Well, if one of them is down to 4, then, right now, the Snowman will kill one of them and take him away.
And then what does the Rat Beast do?
If we'd rather have the Rat Beast is going to be going after the chairman for forever. If we want the broker to get taken away, for example, we could arrange that.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I take the Crooked Cop down to 1, and then one of them down to 1, and then you Grievous Hailstorm, that'll get rid of one of the Crooked Cops and take the other Crooked Cop down to the lowest. Then the deputy will be second lowest, right?
Yeah.
And I have no problem with the deputy getting taken out.
Sure.
Of the game. Because that'll help us keep the Crooked Cops from coming out.
All right.
Oh,
We still need to do one more point of damage to the deputy.
One more point of damage to the deputy, or do we want to do one more point of damage to the crooked cop?
The crooked cop is giving them damage reduction, so the snowman can't kill them unless they're at... Right?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We could have it remove the crooked cop, that would be fine. Or, I mean, you could get stuff with the Wraith right now if you wanted to. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like, so one of the things I could do here is I could utility belt, and then use my base power to deal 1 damage to the crooked cop, and then that way we can get the deputy out. Or, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm doing my math wrong. Okay, so... do 2 cold...
We need to use impromptu invention to get a micro-targeting and throwing knives.
Yeah, I like that plan. Micro-targeting, play, throwing knives in play. Alright, so then I will throw in knives. So we'll get the...
So if you throw knives and you hit the deputy, and then hit the crooked cop, and then hit the broker, the other 2 will both be at 1. And then we'll have the snowman take out, which is Tempest here. The snowman can take out one of them, and maybe a skunk ape will come out and take out the other one, or someone.
Oh yeah, Final Wasteland against the Matriarch. I could see that being a really good way to go. All right, so who do we want? Who do we hate more, the broker or the deputy?
I hate the broker more.
All right, I will let you take out the broker then.
Goodbye, broker. And there's a skunk ape.
Ah, excellent.
Now this is where it becomes more dangerous that we might actually never be able to win the game. There are no underboss cards. Imagine that. We do have to let one of them enter the trash.
Yes. So, Jimmy the Cannon asks, why do they want to leave the broker and deputy at 1? Wouldn't killing the cop first let them kill the deputy and broker? Yes. So what the strategy that we're attempting to employ here is the Unforgiving Wasteland strategy, which is that when that card is out, any card that would be destroyed by damage dealt by an environment card. I'll actually just bring it up and read it. Whenever a target would be destroyed by damage dealt by an environment card, remove that target from the game instead. So this doesn't go to a trash. It's do not pass go, do not collect $200, immediately be removed from the game. So now the chairman's deck is actually 2 cards lighter, and it is 2 underbosses. So they can't ever come out again, which means they also can't bring out crooked cops or informants. But as John was pointing out, one of the dangers of this strategy, and the reason why it is treading the edge of a knife, as it were, is that if the chairman needs to have at least, on advanced, 1 underboss in the trash in order to flip. And if he doesn't flip, he's immune, and the heroes cannot win. So that's why we got to be really careful with what we're doing here.
Yeah, I think probably the one underboss that's like the easiest is the muscle, so we can wait for him to come out and then destroy him.
Sarasvatan, yes, the game is advanced, so he needs 1 underboss in the trash. I'll pop that open so you guys can see. At the start of the villain turn, if there are any underbosses in the villain trash, the chairman flips. His regular is if there are at least 3.
So I assume the other heroes can get the fence and the thief down low enough. Like, I think that's probably feasible. I guess the problem is like getting them down low enough without killing them.
Right.
Let's see.
Yeah, and again, the other important thing is that this is far from a slam dunk strategy, because as pointed out, like both the chairman and the operative are still at full HP, and on advanced they both do quite a bit of damage. So you could perform the strategy perfectly, get the chairman to flip, get every single one of his targets removed from the game, and still have a really hard path to victory.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play by any means on the operative. And we can get the fence down to 1 if I hit him for 2 and either the Wraith or Bunker hits him for 3. Probably the Wraith. Sound good?
Do it.
Okay.
I may need you to repeat that to me when it comes to my turn.
It's fine. The problem is we have a lot of things that do 3 damage, which would kill the fence.
Right.
So yeah, whatever you want here. I guess except turret mode. You can play turret mode if you want, but it's not really a good idea, I don't think. And I would hit the operative with your flat cannon. And Tempest can play localized hurricane, I think. Just gonna knock down that snowman a bit to keep him in check.
Yeah, so there's some chatter in the chat about Freedom 6 Bunker. As far as we are aware, no one has posted the actual correct unlock method for Freedom 6 Bunker yet.
That is correct.
You can unlock him via the button, so you can play with him. But yeah, the actual sort of here's the instructions has not yet been discovered.
So I want you to hit the fence and and then anything except for the thief.
Right. Yeah, so definitely keep whittling down the operative a bit.
Oh, and don't kill the snowman, but you could get him down. You could hit him. That's fine. I would hit the snowman.
Snowman? Alright.
Just so he's like, if the operative or if the chairman doesn't play anyone, then we can.
Yeah, if we have to get rid of him, we can. Alright, and then, yeah, I guess I'll infrared eyepiece again. Perfect human specimens and undivided attention.
I go perfect human specimen.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do too. Want to avoid them dealing us more damage if we can.
And then the snowman will take out the thief. And the skunk ape will take out the other guy. I don't think the order matters. Oh, we can actually have the rat beast hit the operative.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so that actually puts her at the second highest, excuse me.
Now she's the highest again because she healed.
Ah, because of perfect human specimens. Yeah.
All right, here's the contract. Want to get rid of this guy for sure.
Out comes the hired gun. It's gonna deal.
All right, I think we can play the exact same trick with these two as we did. If we can get the contract down to 1, which is easy because we have things that do 3 damage. So just like Bunker and Tempest or whatever.
And probably. So let's take a look real quick just so that we're keeping track. So in his trash right now, still no underbosses, lots of thugs because that's part of his setup is that the thugs go into the trash. And then in his deck now, from an underboss perspective, we have the muscle. And then the contract is in play. So if we remove the contract, that means that all our hopes lie on the muscle, and we got to make sure that when he comes out, we take him out and not the environment.
Yeah, it's just the muscle left in there, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Which we have enough damage that we could like just destroy him really quickly.
2 underbosses removed so far, Napicross. I believe, right? 2?
It's a lightning bolt.
The deputy and
4 have been removed from, or three underbosses are removed from play.
So broker, deputy.
There are 5 in total.
And that's...
So I think if, we can have Tempest and the Wraith hit the contract so that he's down to 1 hit point, and we'll just leave Hired Gun alone. The Snowman will kill Hired Gun, and the Skunk Ape will kill the contract. Sound good?
I'm ready.
All right. Then chrono-ranger is going to do what chrono-ranger does.
Yeah, I didn't really get chrono-ranger until I started playing with whatever his cards are that like start boosting damage based on number of bounties out. And I was like, holy cow, like,
Yeah,
man.
if you have Hunted and the Masada, it's insane.
I know, I was like, wow, this guy is unstoppable.
I mean, he's actually really... he can do a lot of different things. Like, he's obviously very, very well suited towards single targets to destroy and focus on, but he's had a lot of utility for other situations, too.
I could turret mode.
Yep, turret mode would be fine.
And heal and damage.
That is a pretty solid setup for that.
Yeah, if I damage...
Hit the operative.
Yeah, I was going to say operative, because that's going to be 4. Yeah, that gets Bunker in a really solid position right there. And with heavy plating, so...
Yeah, I like that setup for
Full
Bunker.
HP, here we come.
All right. I don't want to do too much damage, so I'm going to... I think... Just get Gene-Bound Shackles ready.
So someone says, there's nothing more fun than having all 6 bounties out in Danny Boy and then dropping Hunter and Hunted and dealing 8 damage to 6 targets. And then the response is, whenever someone talks about how cool Chrono Ranger is, someone appears to say he's super weak. The trick, again, with Chrono Ranger, as with a lot of things in this game, is that if you don't know how to use them, they feel pretty weak. You know, a lot of the default Chrono Ranger thing is deal 1 damage, deal 1 damage, deal 1 damage, deal 1 damage. And if you're playing against something that has 1 damage reduction, that can seem really weak. You got to learn how these decks work. It's one of the reasons why I like Sentinels better than something like a Magic the Gathering or, you know, other collectible card games or deck building games or whatever, which is that his deck is his deck. Now learn it, you know, and then once you've learned it, you don't ever unlearn it. It's not like, oh, now I'm going to, you know, oh, I just opened a new pack of cards and I've got these 3 amazing rare cards and now I'm going to try and figure out how to put those in my deck and now have to learn how to play my deck all over again. That's not how Sentinels works, and that's one of the things I like about it. All right. I don't think we want to get rid of any of those environment cards, so grappling hook is not super useful.
I could grapple one of the rat beats. They're going to be coming after us soon.
That's true. I could do that. I got 20 HP, so I could probably hold on to that Suit Yourself. Yeah, that's fine. You want me to get rid of one of the rat beasts?
Yeah, the one with the higher hit points.
All right, I'll do that. And actually, that's something I don't think we've mentioned yet, which is that the rat beasts are actually Chrono Ranger nemesis, because that's part of Chrono Ranger's story, is that he, when he gets pulled into the future, part of the thing is that he's sort of taking on some of these beasts that have inherited the world, and the rat beast is one of his nemesis. I don't think any damage has been dealt to him or from him towards the rat beast, so it hasn't come into play yet, but something to keep in mind.
I don't want to tell you what to do, but you should shoot them.
Yeah. Alright, who am I shooting? Operative at one point, I'm sure.
Yep, I mean, hit the contract.
Yeah, contract first.
And that's taken care of, and then, yeah, you can hit the operative. So if you do hit the operative, then... where are hit points? Yeah, Bunker's going to get hit by the rat, but that's fine. So you could kill the rat if you want, because it's just going to hit Bunker at this point.
Done. And
well,
what to do? So she's gonna be dealing a bunch. Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna get at least 7 damage dealt against us. But
that's okay. We have lots of HP.
yeah, we got lots of hit points.
And there goes the hard gun. And
New Jersey Devil.
that's going to come after us now. There goes the contract.
There goes the contract, all gone.
There goes the snowman. Unforgiving Wasteland works both ways.
Yes, it does. It does not discriminate. All right. Tempest? All right.
We'll get rid of this guy if he's not going to be useful. We'll see what comes out. I guess we know Undivided Attention what's coming out.
Guy in the third row says, I like that non-advice. I don't want to tell you what to do, but you should shoot them. Words to live by. Alright, so here's the muscle.
Right, so we need to just kill him. Put him in the trash.
Yep.
Unless we want to see that screen.
That's true. It is a separate victory/loss screen. Alright, so we need to do 8 damage to the muscle.
Yeah, the enforcers we can let... Actually, we could probably let the New Jersey Devil and the ape kill the operative and the enforcers. That would be fun. I don't know if I've had the operative removed from the game before like that.
I definitely had that happen once. Which would be awesome, because when the operative flips on advanced, we've got at the end of the villain turn, chairman deals the hero with the highest target 2 melee damage. So that would be...
That would be gone.
fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Bunker is good for 4 damage to the muscle. Tempest is good for 3. Actually, Tempest has Chain Lightning, so I'll just play that. So that's no problem. Yeah, we got it easily. So I'm going to hit the operative and get her down with the enforcers low enough for this to happen.
So someone asks, what happens to the bounties if the operative is wasted? Well, that depends on the bounty, doesn't it?
That's right.
Because ultimate target, for those who may not be aware, is not destroyed when the target that it is on is destroyed and or leaves play. It stays in play. And, you know, I've actually had a couple of tickets come in about that, and the reason for that is A, because it doesn't say to do that on the card, and as we all know, that's
the main reason.
That's the most important thing. But for the question of, well, why would that be useful? Hunter and Hunted, Masada, any card that counts bounties in play is going to be interested in bounties that are in play, and so there are definitely situations where you would want a bounty to stay in play even if it doesn't have a target to be attached to.
And he has his hat to destroy it if he has to.
Exactly.
Or any ongoing. It's an ongoing card, so.
All right, so what are we doing here? I've got my flat cannon. I'll heal up first, and then we can talk about who I'm going to hit.
Yeah, you could hit the muscle.
Hit the muscle? All right.
As long as we get the enforcers and the operative down to 4, they'll be killed by the environment. So I think I'm going to have Tempest help out with that. With Chain Lightning. And then the Wraith can do whatever she wants because we don't need her.
She'll be so hurt.
I know. Sorry.
Azurshot asks, are we playing to lose via Unforgiving Wasteland? We are not. We are playing to win via Unforgiving Wasteland. We are using the Unforgiving Wasteland to remove underbosses and thugs from the game for us to make the game easier for us once we actually get the chairman to flip.
All right, the muscle is destroyed.
All right, we got our one underboss in the trash.
Oh, I get to use a power. But I don't actually want to use powers. I don't want to destroy them. So I'm just going to skip. And I guess I could hit the skunk ape.
So we can fight the chairman as your shot. So on advanced, the chairman only needs one underboss in the trash. So that's what we did, was we removed all but one of the underbosses, and then we got the one underboss in the trash that we need to get him to flip on advanced. So after this environment turn, he's going to get in. We're going to hit the chairman's turn, and he's going to see that there's one underboss in the trash, and he's going to flip, and then we're good to go. And at that point, then, if that underboss, if like his trash gets shuffled and the underboss comes out again, we can let the environment take it out at that point, because once he's flipped, he's flipped.
Yes, all you really need to do is nothing on your turn. So you could like stun bolt the chairman, I guess, if you wanted or something. It'll still work even if a damage doesn't get dealt.
That's right.
Or
that's
trust fund or whatever you want, I guess.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to trust fund, actually, and that way I'll have some more options for next turn, just in case. Got another infrared eyepiece, combat stance, another trust fund, and a throwing knife. So let's go ahead and get rid of one of those throwing knives, because we already got one in play. And I've already got an infrared eyepiece, so we'll get rid of one of the other two that I have. And now I get to do two things. And one of them is going to be dealing damage, which we don't want to do. Let's infrared eyepiece at least and see what the chairman's got. Rook City is mine and undivided attention. I mean, I would pick Rook City as mine.
Yep, we can deal with whatever the environment plays.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be our booster cards that'll start getting out more damage dealers.
And I would just skip your next
I'm
power.
just gonna skip.
Yay, bunker.
And out comes Khan's bunker. All right. And say goodbye to the enforcers.
So here we get the choice, because there's two effects that care about when a card would be destroyed, do something instead. And so you get to do one of those things, and then the card's not being destroyed anymore, so the other thing doesn't affect it. So we could either decide that we remove her from the game, or she flips. And I would say let's remove her from the game.
I concur.
And these cards, by any means, will be destroyed, and the ultimate target will not. It will just move to the villain play area.
And there's that chairman. And come on, library. Oh, there's a Mongolian Deathworm. And Abominable Snowman.
So basically, none of these environment cards are helpful because he's immune to environment damage.
Right.
But we can easily destroy them all. I think.
So I mean, I still have a grappling hook, so I can get rid of that Unforgiving Wasteland, which is just going to work. Well, it's actually not going to work totally against us if he starts playing thugs.
Yeah, like I have Flash Flood. Like there's no worries at all. I don't think about it.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, I'm getting my hat.
Yeah, so that's his brutal advanced is that the first time the chairman is dealt damage each turn, the chairman deals the source of that damage X melee damage, which in this case is 4.
It's only the first time, though.
Yeah, it's only the first time.
Again.
I don't think so.
Yep, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Bunker's set up, and he's ready to just do what he does. I'll trade 4 for 4, and then heal up
4 for
2
3.
of it. Oh, 4 for 4. Yeah, so it's basically 4 for 1, because I get to heal back 2 of them, so I'll take that.
Alright, and I'm going to Flash Flood those 2 high HP ones away. And then the Wraith can clean up the little ones.
Yep, I can do that, no problem.
Gene-bound shackles, ahoy! Actually, throat jab would be nice against the chairman.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Actually, if you want to leave the skunk ape around, like, we can have him hit the chairman to end the game next round.
I thought he was immune to environment.
He's reliably hitting just 1 damage to everything, so I'm okay to leave him around.
Uh-oh. Oh. Looks like Migrant P fell offline briefly. So we'll hang out for a second and see if he comes back. I wonder if he used up all his data, which is certainly possible. He was tethered this game. So let's just chill for a second. I'm gonna pop open my messenger to make sure that he is still around. Migrant P first makes a mistake, then goes offline. Coincidence? Yes, the skunk ape removed Migrant P from the game. All right, so while we're waiting to see if he comes back, what's going on, chat room? How's life? For those who are just joining us, we did in fact show off some Wrath of the Cosmos stuff earlier today. You back?
Hello?
Are you back?
Am I back?
Yes. Sounds like you're back.
I'm not sure if I can be able to rejoin the game.
I've left it, so...
Oh, you left the game?
No, I left it like on the player disconnected screen with the hopes that you would come back, so...
Okay, let me quit the game and get back in because it's not reconnecting.
Did you use up all your data?
I feel like that's not possible. I think my phone is running out of battery and it freaked out.
Ah. So the joke is that it looks like the skunk ape removed you from the game. That is the joke that's happening in the chat right now.
I should reload the chat.
It was interesting that it cut off you in the game before it cut off your Skype. I thought that was very interesting.
It happened pretty much at the same time for me.
Well, I saw you disappear from the game. I heard you, and then I heard you go, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" Click.
Steam is preparing to launch the game. Come on, Steam.
Enough preparing. Why are you always preparing? Just go. Just go.
It's finishing Steam Cloud Sync.
He is not playing on his phone, Lou Dolphin. He is tethered via his phone.
Steam is not cooperating. It doesn't like network problems. Oh, we're almost done. Why don't you just finish the game?
All right, I will walk through how we're doing this here because it would be a real tragedy to not get to finish this after we so expertly executed the Unforgiving Wasteland. All right, so I'm gonna assign them both to me. You're connected, so I can share my screen to you, and then we can talk through it. So let me do that real quick. Share window. This will be like the olden days, back when we used to play, before the multiplayer days. All right. So we're on Wraith. Play a card. Oh, that music stopped because Skype rang. Okay, so we were going to throat jab the chairman, I believe, was one of the potential options.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And we're going to leave the skunk ape around to remove the chairman for us.
Right, and my response to that was, isn't he immune to environment damage?
Oh, he is, that's right. So that won't work.
Yeah.
Okay. You can kill the skunk ape.
Yeah, so I'm going to throwing knives, and I'm going to hit the chairman for 3, and then he'll hit me back. Oh, wait, no, I already hit him. Skunk ape is gone. And stop dealing damage. Yes, Sockfoot 2000, we are going to finish it, I promise. We would not leave you hanging. And I'm just going to deal some more damage. Because that's how I do. All right, then the environment comes up.
Oh, you forgot to turn your other music off to have the Final Wasteland music.
Oh, I can do that now.
They're commenting on that.
Let's do that. Options. All right, there you go. Final Wasteland music. Do we want to destroy Khan's bunker? I don't. I like Khan's bunker.
I mean, it's not helping us now.
All right. Amphibious Chupacabra goes after Tempest for 3. All right, so yeah, we have like 64, 65 HP to his 22. I think we got this. All right, are we destroying a bounty?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, you can destroy the ultimate target. That doesn't matter. Actually, yeah, I go back and destroy the ultimate target.
All right.
And then we can play it on him with Ranger's Mark.
So Ranger's Mark?
Yeah, Ranger's Mark.
And then hit him?
Yep.
Ah, that throat jab. Wonderful.
And then 100.
Yes.
And compended bow.
Yes.
Probably should have done that in the other order, but that's okay. Won't really matter. He's going down.
Any particular choices?
No matter.
Infernal. Yes, we officially rendered the operative inoperable.
You got an achievement.
Oh, did I?
You got your compended ether fist.
Ah, nice. Yeah, we're not going to bother with that.
And you got it using the compended bow. Nicely done.
Hammer reacts for 0. And then I'm going to maintenance units.
And Tempest will have it. Into the stratosphere. Just for the damage. And then localized hurricane. And that's the end.
And there you have it, folks. How you turn the wasteland against the operative. Excuse me.
And the chairman.
And the chairman. Somebody was saying about how we rendered the operative inoperative, so I had that in my head. And there it is. And then you get to hear the victory music because I went ahead and switched it. So he's so mad. that you pulled him into the future and then beat his butt. As well he should be. Because how dare he? How dare you, sir?
He had grand plans to take over the final wasteland.
The final wasteland is mine. That's, you know what? That's a thing we could do in the video game, is we could change that card to say the name of the environment is mine. Though, because it says Rook City is mine when you're in the final wasteland. That seems kind of silly. I'll ask Christopher if that would be okay. All right, so it's 8:45. That's 2 games. I think we're gonna call it. Thanks for joining us, especially if you're new to the game. I know we have a ridiculous number of new players thanks to the Humble Monthly bundle this week. So if you're new to the game, welcome. If you're new to the stream, welcome. If you're old to the stream, if you've been with us since the beginning, thanks for sticking around. We'll be showing off more Wrath of the Cosmos, and by we, I mean John will be showing off more Wrath of the Cosmos next week, most likely.
In theory.
In theory. The reason I say that is because I will actually be at GDC, the Game Developer Conference in San Francisco, so I will unfortunately be unavailable for the stream next week. But John is going to do his best to stream in my absence. We're going to be working on that this week. But obviously, if he has issues like he had tonight, that might not work out so terrifically. But we'll see what we can do. Nonetheless, 2 weeks from tonight, I will be back in the saddle showing off more Wrath of the Cosmos DLC preview. And hopefully I'll have all kinds of cool stories from my trip to San Francisco. If anyone's going to be in San Francisco next week, let me know. I'd love to say hi to Sentinels fans during the Game Developers Conference. So that's that. Thanks for joining us. And any parting words, John?
Go check out the Kickstarter. It's almost over.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So $1.308 million, 66 hours to go. If you're not back in it yet, you should. Remember that you get a free exclusive Oblivion flavored Kickstarter avatar to use in multiplayer to show off it to the world that you were there when Oblivion raised more than $1 million. And that's that. Check out be ready for YouTube. This should be going up on YouTube hopefully within the next few days. And if anybody is interested in more information about Wrath of the Cosmos, make sure you tell your friends to check out the stream next week and then the week after that. Hopefully we will have some more information about when Wrath of the Cosmos will be available, probably in the next few weeks. It's still in testing now. Hopefully it'll be going out in beta soon. And then I know you guys are excited to play it, so we'll have more info with that coming soon. And I think that's it.
Have a good night.
Good night, everybody. Thanks a lot.